Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series here in Elite Dangerous. We found a Tritium hotspot in the last episode, and we're going to do some mining today. And since I was able to go back and grab all of the equipment that I needed to kind of diversify my portfolio, as it were, we're actually going to take the Type 8 out today and do some displacement missile mining. So let's go ahead, get out of here, start heading over towards the hotspot, and get that done. As always, I do have the automated pausing of my video when I stop talking running, so if you see any kind of random things, random cuts in the video, that's why. Because, you know, some people, or I don't know, I don't want to have to do video editing, so I'm always trying to find a way to, like, minimize the number of things I have to deal with like that. But we're going to get over here, we're going to try to make some tritium today, so that we can hopefully be able to continue our journey without any kind of interruption. Just waiting on the mass lock to go away. I don't know why I'm not boosting. Alright, we made it out of that, and let's get over to the hotspot. Alright, so we're approaching the hotspot here. I had to do a little bit of looping around to get back to it because I boosted and it went a little bit too fast. So, yeah. I kind of have to babble that first whole minute because I don't want my channel member credits to get cut off when I stop talking, so I have it set to only start doing the cut. Oh, wait. I have it set to only start doing the cut thing after a minute when I'm sure that my channel member credits are done. So even if I don't have anything to talk about, I have to have something to talk about so that I can make sure that that happens. All right, let's get our prospector limpets. So for this particular build, if you watch my mining episodes in the past, if you're doing laser mining, the pulse wave scanner doesn't really do anything for you because it does not give you a higher chance of actually finding anything. That's fine. I mean, I don't need the weapons here. I just need the engines. We need to be as nimble as possible. The displacement missiles don't really use up any power, so. All right, so we're on the lookout. Let me finish explaining in a second. We're on the lookout for these. We are looking for tritium subsurface deposits. So now we're going to switch over to our displacement missile, and we will do a digging session here into this guy. So boom, looks like we got it. And then we just got to wait for the blue. And then you just do it again. Wait for the blue. Wait for the blue. I want to try to find some 1 bar. So the way that this works, for those of you who have never seen this process before, the smaller the blue bar, the more material that you're going to get out of it. The best you can go for is going to be a 1 bar, because I guess we ran out of that one. The best you can go for is going to be a 1 bar. That will yield you the most material because it's the hardest to hit. Like most things in this game, I feel like the gameplay was prioritized over. I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like this is an overly involved process. Like with most things, I'm not a big fan of just artificially creating mechanisms to do things just because it keeps the player engaged physically doing something in the game. I'm not a fan of that idea. And everything that they put in this game that requires you to manually do it, where in real life you would have a computer doing it, I don't understand that philosophy. I don't understand why any players defend that philosophy. Completely disagree with your mindset. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it is the way that it is. So that's how that works. The smaller the blue bar, the harder it is to hit, but the more reward you get out of it because you're actually able to do it properly. So that's what we're doing here. Trying to get as many of these 1s as I can because you get much more material per missile. We do have a limited number of missiles that we can fire, so you know, you got to be kind of careful with that. I don't want to go too far because it doesn't look like. I think that might have been a 1. I think that might have been a 1 on the net. Well, I don't know. It didn't really load. It didn't really load all the way into the thing there. So we're gonna risk it and see if that happened to be a 1. Okay. I'm trying to get as much out of this as I can. I get 1 more hit left. I think there might have been another 1 after that. I screwed that up. All right. And you only get a certain number of attempts. You can see by how fast the percentage goes down. That'll let you know how many attempts that you get. Once you have exhausted that particular location, or that particular dig site, or whatever it is that you want to call it, Once you've exhausted it, it's done, and you just wasted a missile. So you got to be kind of careful about you know, where you're shooting and what particular lines you're going for and how risky you're going to be with your behavior, because, you know, the reward is better when you go for the smaller ones, but if you miss, that's also a missile that you wasted, and it's also an attempt that you wasted going after that. So that's the way that works. So the brighter the color on these, the more chance you have of finding really nice stuff. The pulse wave analyzer is primarily for finding cores. That's really what it's intended to do. I mean, it does give you a higher chance of finding these subsurface displacements, so that's really nice to have. But this right here, the fact that it has a void opal core, this is really what the pulse wave analyzer is for. It's to identify things that have subsurface features of some kind, which, you know, includes these subsurface deposits, but it's also for identifying highly fissurized asteroids. Ooh, oh, I gotta focus here. One. Oh, come on! It has a little speed up that I wasn't expecting. You can see it on the graph above. You can see it on the graph above when it's going to speed up and slow down. I don't really pay much attention to that because if you're looking at the graph above it, you're not looking at the blue lines and trying to time it. So sometimes you just got to live with it. Ah, damn it. Okay, let's try to get this one again. I'm probably going to end up wasting a bunch trying to get this one, but I've decided I want it. So sometimes that's just the way that it goes. You just got to keep on trying. I'm just going to go after blue, the 2 bars now, just because we ended up wasting a couple of attempts. Oh, damn it. Wow. I am just really not doing a good job right now. The speeding up and slowing down is just... What happened? Oh, is it? No, it's not done yet. Why is it not? What is going on here? I think I'm having a delay with the missiles firing, and it's throwing me off. All right, fine. Any other subsurface deposit? I keep forgetting to equip the abrasion blaster. Because you can blow off surface chunks when you find them like that too with the abrasion blaster. I meant to equip it and I just forgot. Or I don't know. Is there? I think there's a class 1 abrasion blaster. I'm pretty sure there is. I don't remember though. I'll have to check it the next time we go back to the carrier, and hopefully I'll remember to actually look for that. Let's see if we can get this one here. All right, got a little bit lucky with that one. Another split second and I would have missed that. So that was mostly luck that I got that. Got another 2 attempts, I think, after this. Continue on. You can see it's at 40% under the asteroid icon there. If there's another one that I can reach before we finish this one, we'll try to grab it, but nope, we're just going to go for that 2. All right, I think that's all of the subsurface ones on this guy. All that's left now are some full-on surface deposits, and we're not really going to mess with that. Okay, we got another option right here. Let's get the Prospector Limpet on it, and we'll see if there's any subsurface deposits, and if not, you just move on to the next one. That's all you can really do. Okay, we have some subsurface tritium deposits here, so we're going to go ahead, hop in, and do like we've been doing for all these other ones. This process is much easier when the asteroid doesn't really spin that much because you're not having to move your ship around. It's also much easier if you're not trying to talk. Because you're not having to move your ship around and, you know, do that while you're trying to time your trigger release to do this. So we're going to go after this one here. That's nice. It's really nice when the speed, you get lucky and the speed slows down right there where there's the number 1. I think we only get one more shot at this, though, so we're going to have to back off and find another one. I'm not sure why oh, I must have backed into an asteroid. I don't have shields on this ship because I just didn't really have the slots for it. I think I'm probably going to need to... so I don't think we really need as many limpet collectors on this version of mining like you do with the laser mining. Because the laser mining puts out a bunch of chunks that the drones need to pick up. For this one, there's just not as many things that need to get picked up. And by the time you're done doing whatever it is that you're doing, the drones typically have already kind of gotten on top. Oh, I screwed that up really bad. The drones have typically gotten on top of it. So I think I might swap out one of my 5A limpet collectors. I'll only lose 3 drones, but I'll get shields and I won't have to worry about running into things. Mostly because it just, you know, it costs money to repair your ship when you keep dinging it up like this. So I'd rather avoid that if I can. All right. Get that. All right. Sorry. Because I have to continue talking so that the recording doesn't stop. So I have to keep doing something to make sure that that doesn't happen. But then, you know, talking also makes it much more difficult for me to time these with these releases. So if I screw up, partially it's because I'm screwing up. But part of it's just because, you know, I'm also trying to talk. And that's, you know, not the easiest thing to do when you're trying to do something that requires manual dexterity. But that's all right. We'll get turned around and I'll start looking for another asteroid to go for. We got another asteroid over here that's starting to glow, you know, not necessarily super bright, but better than nothing. Let's go ahead and get a prospector limpet into this guy, and if he doesn't have what we're looking for, there's another one off to our left that I kind of saw, so we'll go check him out if this ends up being a bust. Just gotta wait for the highlighty things to happen. Looks like it's all surface deposits on this one, so let's, I think it was over here somewhere I saw. Yeah, we got one right there. Let's get a probe on this guy and see if he happens to have some subsurface deposits for us. If the, sometimes the prospector limpets just do not respond. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's really, really annoying. Looks like all surface deposits again. That's, you can always tell when they're subsurface because it looks like little chunks inside, a stream of little chunks inside the asteroid. It's really frustrating when I don't see that because, you know, it's a big waste of a limpet and a big waste of time. Let's try to get another one on this guy here. We had several in a row that are actually glowing for us, so that's good. So yeah, it says programming limpet drone, and then nothing happens. It's really annoying. It's like, can you please just send the drone out when I click the button? That's 2 in a row that I've clicked and no response at all. No response at all. Can we please get the drone to go out? Thank you. That's really frustrating. It's a massive waste of time having to try to deploy a drone 4 and 5 times sometimes. It's really annoying. All right. Looks like there's only one subsurface deposit on this guy. I have personally found that, you know, if you're lucky and you're in an area that has a lot of deposits, this can be as fast as laser mining or even faster sometimes, depending on, you know, how lucky you get. But if you're in a system like this where there just really isn't that much to go for, it's definitely way slower than just going out with the cutter and doing the laser, especially because of the fact that you can miss and you waste an attempt. Like if you're really super good and you're always consistent and you're not having to focus on anything else other than just doing this, this can be a very efficient way of getting things done, especially if you remember to bring the abrasion blaster with you and you're not having to skip entire asteroids because you know, you don't have the proper tool for the job. I do have abrasion blasters in the carrier. I just keep forgetting to actually equip it on the ship. But yeah, let's grab the last deposit for this, and then we'll start looking for another one. There. All right, cool. Yeah, it can be very difficult to coordinate your ability to like release a timer and be doing anything else. This method of mining definitely requires a lot more focus than just the mindless laser mining that, you know, I typically do. Unfortunately, this one only has surface deposits. Another one that I'm having to skip because I keep forgetting to bring the correct tool. We're definitely missing out on productivity because I don't have the abrasion blasters. I really, like, my ADD is going to make me forget, but we really need to have that to have any real... I think maybe it's because I'm going too fast. I think that's probably what it was. I keep disabling my cargo scoop so that we can hurry up and get to the next asteroid, but I always forget that there is a speed limit on being able to deploy these, and if you break that speed limit in the wrong way, you're going to end up destroying your prospector limpet. But it still happens in my cutter where I'm not even capable of going fast enough to do that. So it's definitely a problem with the way that the response from your inputs works. Not sure why, but it is. Let's get our cargo scoop open back up before it complains at me about that. I always forget to turn it back on, and then it's like, oh, we can't put it in your thing because the cargo scoop isn't open. It's like, can the drones just have access to my cargo scoop and open it when it needs to be opened and closes when it's done? I don't want to have to leave it open. Let's just have the drones able to just deal with that. I don't know why that has to be a thing. Like, is it another little detail that the computer should just be able to handle for me, but the developers decided, nope, you're going to manually do it yourself. You're going to manually do it yourself. Everything has to be manual. Everything has to be manual. All right, we have a nice, somewhat brightly colored asteroid sitting here in front of us. I think this might be our last one for today. We're already at 15 minutes of mining, and, you know, you can only watch me do the subsurface displacement thing so many times before it's like, all right, I'm ready to move on to another video. So I think we'll check out this last one, and then we'll head back and call it a day for mining. I will be doing some more laser mining over the course of the next couple of days, just because, you know, I want to get back up to a decent amount of tritium in the tank so that, you know, we don't have that fear of the range anxiety or whatever. Oh, wrong thing. Hold on. I need the displacement missile. It would help if I actually picked the right tool for the job there, huh? Okay, come on. Let's get in there. Why are we not hitting the thing? Come on. Come on. Thank you. Sometimes it's really finicky when it... Sometimes it's really finicky. It's really, really finicky sometimes about actually getting the drill into the spot, especially when it's in like a weird contour like that. You have to be super precise to get it to get the thing, especially when it's spinning like this. You have to lead it a little bit to make sure that the drill actually gets to the spot where the mining can happen. So you have to play around with it sometimes for a little bit to find out exactly where you need to lead the target to actually get the drill to hit in the right spot and start doing that. So yeah, there's that. We have to do this one, and then there's another subsurface deposit up there. Okay, can you fire, please? Sometimes it just says there's still more left to go. There we go. It's just the fiddliness of it is just super frustrating. The computer could do a much better job of landing these and timing these and doing all of these the way that they're supposed to do. I should just be responsible for telling the computer, hey, go after that one. I don't even know if I got the number 1 or if that was the number 2. It's weird when they're close together like that because they kind of overlap a little bit, I guess, which makes it good because you can get the success. It's a much higher chance of getting a success. Looks like we got the first one. Looks like we got the number 1 on that one, though. But yeah, I mean, doing these ones where the asteroids are spinning around a lot is just, you know, it's a lot more of a challenge than one of the ones where they're just kind of lazily rotating in a single direction, or lazily rotating. Oh, man, we barely got that one. Come on, shoot the freaking... I pressed the trigger, and I get no visual indication that the missile shot. So it can... Oh, man, I really want that one, though. Like, this is our last one that we're doing, so I really want to get that number 1 right there. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Boom. All right, cool. You know, we want to maximize our yield for this trip, but I don't want to screw around too much and end up not getting anything for our time. Again, I need you to cooperate and please work. And then, yeah, so we'll go ahead and just get this number 2 here. We'll get the other number 2 next to it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Boom. And then we'll see if there's a number 1 that shows up on, I think this is the last one. If there's a number 1 that shows up and I can see it, then we'll go after that. But it doesn't look like that's it. We get one more out of it. Cool. Yeah, so we'll just go after this last number 1, or this last set of number 2s that are kind of towards the back here, right there. All right. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and grab all of that up, head back to the carrier, get that deposited, see how much tritium we have. 70, I mean, for 18 minutes of recording time, which probably extrapolated out into 20 to 25 minutes worth of actual play time, 70 units isn't bad. Certainly not bad at all. But, hold on, I gotta get that targeted. Of course, it's on the other side of the asteroid belt. So let me get back to the carrier, and we'll go find out how much we have, how much total we have in addition to our carrier, or in addition to what is in the fuel tank. And yeah. Okay, we're back at the carrier. We're gonna get landed on the pad, and then so a couple of things we need to do while we're here. Obviously, we need to get the fuel transferred over to the carrier, and then I want to try to remember to make the adjustments to add the abrasion blasters, obviously, but then also just to add a shield, to swap out one of the limpet controllers for a shield, because I don't think that we really need the number of limpets that we do when we're doing the laser mining. I think it's a kind of a waste of resources when I could just have a shield available. Oh, helps to actually put the landing gear down. I thought I did. Could have swore it. It's frustrating because I sometimes I feel like I press the button and it just doesn't respond. It's really annoying when it does that. All right. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and offload any drones that we have. We'll offload any drones that we have. We'll do some structural repairs, and then we'll offload any drones that we still have remaining in the cargo bay there, because it makes it much easier when we go over here to do our transfer to just say transfer all to carrier, and I don't have to do a manual transfer to move it over. So in addition to the 1,000 units that we have in our fuel tank, we have 646 units sitting here. I'd like to have at least 2,000 units in reserve in addition to the 1,000 that we have in the tank. So still got a lot of mining to do before we're going to get out of here. That said, though, I am going to try to remember now to go into outfitting so that we can swap out some of our equipment. Okay, so we are in here. I think we want to put the abrasion blaster, so the subsurface missiles on the bottom. I guess this isn't like the crate the crate phantom or anything like that, where the hard points show up out in front of... Oh, yeah, I think that... I don't know. That's hard to tell. Is that out in front of us on the pylons, or... I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of being able to see the abrasion blaster, but I don't know. And then, hold on. I need to actually get to the mining tools. I only have... Oh, I have one abrasion blaster? I could have swore I brought more. Oh, man. I only have one? I mean, we only really need one, but that's just... Damn it. Okay. So we have this. We have one on the side here, one up there. Is that... Where is this one? Is this one kind of in the middle, facing towards the... Oh, that's super frustrating. I could have swore I brought more. I could have sworn I brought more. They really need to create a remote purchase option that allows you to just purchase like an online purchase option, and then you pay for shipping out to your carrier. Because if I can go back to a station to purchase equipment and then fly back to my carrier and then have it transferred, just make it to where I don't have to fly back, please. Just give me an online purchase option. Charge a massive markup for it for the inconvenience, in addition to the transfer fee, the shipping fee that it requires. You know, it needs to have a cost for the convenience that you're getting, but at the same time, don't make me go all the way back. I'm willing to pay the extra money for that stuff. Now I'm like, I don't even know where this is on the ship. So we'll go ahead and put it here, and then I'll see if I can find exactly where that is. I don't even know. Where is that? Let's get back to the outfitting here and see if I can tell. Yeah, okay. I think that's up here. I think that's where that is. I'm pretty sure that the two that were on the bottom were under the pylons. Oops, of course. I think that the two that we were looking at were the little things here. I think they were over here under the pylons, and then the other two were on the sides of the cockpit here. And if I had to, I would go for that. But I think the subsurface displacement missile is down here on the bottom, and then I think that right there is probably the abrasion blaster. So that's going to be good because it'll be right down the middle of the slot there. So we got a couple of fins. I really wish that there was a way to get back to this view without having to exit out of that. I don't know where that is. I see some fins in the background and a couple of things here. It's just dark and I can't zoom in on it. Let's see. Am I able to get into my external camera? Let's see. Do that, and then we will go into regular view. Oops. What's going on? What's going on? It's really annoying. I pressed the buttons that were supposed to work for that. Let me get into camera view, please. Let me get into that. No, I'm not sure where that is. I am not sure at all where that is. Let's get that. Let's get the free camera view. We'll look around, and then up we go. Yeah. I think that might be it there. Unfortunately, it doesn't stay deployed once you exit the thing there, which is kind of annoying. Nice if we could actually see, but I think I know our subsurface displacement missile's down there, and I'm pretty sure. why does space... Okay. I'm pretty sure that this hard point right here is our is where we put the abrasion blaster. So it's right down the center line of the ship. That should make it pretty easy to be able to target that and get it actually hit where we want to. So both of the things that we're firing are going to be down the center line. That's pretty sweet. And yeah, so that's going to go ahead and do it for today's episode. Hopefully you guys had fun. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. Also have PayPal and Patreon links in the description if you prefer to go that route, because some people do like to go outside of YouTube to help out with channels. So those options are there for your convenience. So again, thank you very much for your time. Be sure to come back for our next episode, and I'll see you then.